What is going on everyone, Nostalgia95 coming at you with perhaps the shortest explaining Digimon Digivolution line video, but hey, every now and then, I think we can permit ourselves to make it short. This time I will go straight to the point. I'm going to discuss Cyclonemon, a Digimon who always intrigued me, not just out of interest and curiosity, but also because Cyclonemon is a Digimon that, to my knowledge, did not receive enough attention by the Digimon developers, which is quite a shame because there's so much to it that meets the eye. I guess I'm not really surprised. There are a great many Digimon in the Digimon universe, so obviously it'll get a little difficult to give all these creatures the attention they deserve. Heck, there are so many creatures, even creatures that are not even called Digimon, and yet still exist in the Digimon world. So interesting. One example would be the D-Reaper, a digital life form descending from the virtual wildlife system allegedly created in the late 1970s by the United States Department of Defense. You can always count on the USA to impress us with new innovations. In this video, I'm kind of hoping that you'll get a little more familiar with Cyclonemon and maybe develop a keen interest on these other rather unknown Digimon. Now, I copy-pasted a very interesting quote from the internet concerning Cyclonemon, which says the following: "This is another of the many adult Digimon who have no appropriate evolutions and get precious little attention, with Cyclonemon in particular having virtually zero anime appearances of any note." And from my experience, I can only confirm this quote. Aside of some video game appearances, seriously, this Digimon attracted little attention. Who is Cyclonemon? You know what? Based on its appearance, I can even dare and say what is Cyclonemon. Look at all these veins on its arms. It has one arm who's clearly almost double the other. The bigger arm has but two big and sharp red nails. Clearly something's up. Or I should rather say, something is odd in its design, don't you think? We'll get to discuss that in a moment. First, I'd like to discuss what might be its rookie form, because Cyclonemon is at its champion level. For those who follow me, you all know that I usually first post a picture of the Digimon I will discuss in the Nostalgia95 community page to first read your opinions before making the actual video. Because Cyclonemon is not given so much attention, I went through the more than 4,000 comments of you guys on this channel to see if someone talked about Cyclonemon. And let me congratulate 3 authors of comments mentioning Cyclonemon. I will first congratulate Destroyer and Fadil Avdic, as they left comments about Cyclonemon in the explaining Agumon Digimon Digivolution line video. I'm extremely happy that you guys at least thought of the almost forgotten Cyclonemon. The last author I'd like to congratulate, unfortunately, I don't know its name. I could not find its comments in the comment section anymore. That is why I wrote unknown. The thing is that this person is actually the one who inspired me to make this video because of a theory he or she wrote concerning Cyclonemon's ultimate Digivolution, and I'll explain that one in a moment in the hope that the author will reveal itself in the comment section. Now, both Destroyer and Fadil Avdic believe that Agumon without a fur would digivolve to Cyclonemon, and I can understand where they come from with that idea. Agumon is a reptile Digimon with a yellow color, and Cyclonemon is a dragon Digimon with a similar color. Both reptiles, like dinosaurs, and dragons are many times mixed up to a point that they look related, so Agumon without a fur digivolving to Cyclonemon does not sound too far-fetched at all. On top of that, there is the horn that both Digimon share, so both of you guys make a good point. However, I myself would say that another rookie Digimon would best fit the picture of Cyclonemon's rookie form. And that Digimon would be Agumon, who I also discussed in the explaining Agumon Digimon Digivolution line video, the first explaining Digimon video of the series, back in the days where I was a bit unsure of my skills in Digimon research, but then again, these are the benefits of having more experience. You see, Agumon in my eyes is more fitting than Agumon because Agumon is known to be quite ferocious and does not know fear. This little reptile already has the personality of a great warrior. Agumon, on the other hand, is extremely timid and shy, and is also using the pelt of Garurumon in the hopes that it would fill the role of safeguarding itself by means of intimidation, because many Digimon fear Garurumon, and if they would see something resembling a Garurumon, that alone should work as a deterrence. Cyclonemon, again a champion level dragon Digimon, was originally a stalwart dragon warrior. Now, stalwart means loyal, reliable, and hardworking. We can already see similar character traits between Cyclonemon and Agumon. Both have strong personalities. On top of that, look at the colors, both are yellow. Now, of course Agumon does not have a horn like Agumon does, but when we look at Agumon's champion form, called Greymon, both Greymon and Cyclonemon have horns, and both are covered in a brown shell. Okay, they may not look similar in design, but still they share similarities nonetheless. Now, if Cyclonemon is indeed Agumon's champion, why does it almost resemble an extremely mutated Greymon? What happened? Now again, it is told that Cyclonemon was originally a hard-working, stalwart dragon warrior. I'd like us to put the emphasis on the word originally. Originally means at first, or maybe better said, from the beginning. This puts Cyclonemon on a timeline. And as far as I'm concerned, we don't know how Cyclonemon originally looked like. It might have looked like a Greymon, but again, it might have not, we don't know. Because in the end, Greymon is still of the dinosaur type and Cyclonemon is a Dragon Man Digimon. I would say just like WarGreymon, who is Greymon's mega level form. So again, there are similarities. From what is written about Cyclonemon's background story, it fought against a Leomon. I'm quite sure that it was a fierce battle because Leomon crushed Cyclonemon's right eye. So Cyclonemon should be blind in its right eye. Now we are even discussing blindness in Digimon. That is why I always said and will always say Digimon really should get like a new mature series to really show how crazy Digimon is or should be. Now Cyclonemon lost to Leomon, lost its right eye and turned in some way mad. It became an Oni of revenge. And by the way, an Oni is a mythological creature in Japanese folklore, one we are going to discuss in the Explaining Mythology series, a sub-series where we take a look at those mythological counterpart of certain Digimon. You might be surprised to see where the Digimon developers took their inspiration for the design of certain Digimon. Not only did Cyclonemon become obsessed with the idea of revenge against Leomon, but it also lost its pride as a warrior. It became nothing more than a warrior obsessed with bloodshed, obsessed with the idea of taking down Leomon, no matter the cost. In order to do that, it trained and enlarged its right arm. We don't know how it trained, we don't know if it underwent experimentations like was the case for other Digimon, like for example SkullGreymon, who I discussed in Explaining Digimon Digivolution line video. All I can say is that it took time for Cyclonemon to get the appearance it has now. One particular moment made it go mad and became this creature lured by blood. Oh, on top of that, Cyclonemon has an attack that I can easily deem among my most favorite. It's called Hyperheat. It uses an extreme temperature which can melt anything. And pay attention, there is a difference between fire, like the one I discussed with Meramon, and heat. Fire is a complicated chemical process releasing heat, and heat is energy. Sure, we can say that Meramon or its more developed forms have fires capable of melting anything, but be careful, don't be too quick in believing such ideas. Sometimes you just need to look for signs to get more clarification. Not all material has a melting point. Some materials will still be standing, does not matter how hot your flames can be. Now Meramon needs the fires to emit heat in order to do damage. This means that if you were to find a way to neutralize those fires, like removing all oxygen, and trust me, there are Digimon who control space, time and matter who can easily do the trick, like for example Grace Novamon, who we discussed in the Explaining Lunamon Digimon Digivolution line video, or even Zed Millenniummon, who also has space-time abilities, and that's just to name two Digimon with one option to easily stop fire. Meramon would not do much. In fact, if its flames are extinguished, I doubt Meramon would still be alive. Cyclonemon and its attack called Hyperheat is one step ahead of Meramon. It does not need fire to emit the energy called heat. Like the sun, which does not burn like some of us would think it does, the sun sends infrared radiation, which is the energy heat. So when we speak of attacks, does that not make Cyclonemon more of a badass than Meramon? Practically speaking at least. And yet people know more of Meramon than Cyclonemon simply because Meramon did get more screen time, which I think is really unfortunate. Now for its ultimate, the unknown author who inspired me to make this video, please reveal yourself in the comment section, actually came with the idea that SkullGreymon would be the logical ultimate form of Cyclonemon, and I can only agree. And most certainly when you consider its background story, which we will discuss in a moment. I can already hear some of you say that SkullGreymon in design does not even look like Cyclonemon, but based on my research, I can actually tell you that Cyclonemon looks more like a previous form of SkullGreymon than Greymon itself. And that is absolutely stunning. Look, I put all three designs next to each other to put things in perspective. Cyclonemon, in design, has more excuses to be SkullGreymon's champion form than even Greymon. SkullGreymon has but one horn, same as Cyclonemon, and that horn seems to be placed at the same locations. Greymon has 3 of them, with one arriving to its snout instead of its cranium. Look at the similar mouth structure between Cyclonemon and SkullGreymon. Both mouths look more similar in comparison to Greymon and SkullGreymon. And look at the body structure of Cyclonemon and SkullGreymon. Both have their legs looking like they are about to kneel, whereas Greymon almost look to be standing straight. Now obviously SkullGreymon has also similar features to Greymon, but who do you think looks more similar in design? I think it's pretty obvious at this point. I can also imagine that some of you would say that SkullGreymon is more likely to be a darker version of Greymon simply because of their names being the same. Well, let me refer back to another video, the explaining Dorumon Digimon Digivolution line video. Dorumon is a rookie level Digimon that can go champion into a Digimon called Dorugamon. And Dorugamon can further digivolve into an ultimate called DoruGreymon. It has Greymon in its name. I don't know if this Digimon is actually related to Agumon, but suddenly they so happen to share a similar name. If it is the case for Dorumon, why would the same thing not happen to Cyclonemon? I think that it can be that it suddenly digivolved to SkullGreymon. In the end, we still find ourselves in the realm of theory, so anything goes. And just in case, I'd like to make a video linking DoruGreymon to the Greymon line, just to figure out where and how they may be linked to each other. I think it's going to be pretty interesting. Now let me discuss SkullGreymon's background story, just to show you once more how similar this Digimon is to Cyclonemon. So SkullGreymon is a skeleton Digimon, and the reason why it has this appearance is because it put too much importance on fighting, and as a result of its combat instinct, it clung to life despite its body rotting away. Does this story sound more like a follow-up to Cyclonemon's story, a Digimon known to have lost its pride, strengthened itself all for the sake of revenge, making it a warrior obsessed with bloodshed? Or do you think that it fits more the story of Greymon, a Digimon that is extremely aggressive and yet highly intelligent? Mind you, SkullGreymon does not have a scrap of intelligence. SkullGreymon is basically the opposite of Greymon. I can imagine that most of you are more familiar with Greymon digivolving to SkullGreymon because of Digimon Season 1, but all things considered, Cyclonemon, to me, considering its appearance and background story, makes more sense to be SkullGreymon's champion form. They have way too many similarities. I'm even wondering if you guys and the Digimon developers ever thought of that. But then again, Cyclonemon always was a Digimon left behind in the dust, so I doubt that some would even think about it. I can't stop myself from thinking about the hidden potential this might give to Cyclonemon and SkullGreymon when it comes to their mega level. What if Cyclonemon, as a SkullGreymon, encounters that same Leomon who crushed its eye and defeat it? Could we see a potential alternate Mega Digivolution? I really think that the possibilities are endless. That is why I want all of you to write down your biggest theories in the comment section about Cyclonemon, and please give Cyclonemon some attention and make sure to also talk about those other forgotten Digimon that deserve some more attention. Hi you all, this is the end of the video. I'd like to thank my Patreon supporters Beast, Hibbenbob, Marine Solar and Nathan Jones for their support. I have received a few comments of people wanting to give a one-time donation, which I have no problem with, but I've yet to figure out how to do it, and my head is a bit elsewhere at this point with the virus at our gate. On top of that, I have received more scientific academic work. I had a full text to write about the democratic control of intelligence agencies. It took a lot of time, and I have more to do, making it even harder to make consistent Digimon research and videos. But guys, be patient with me, please. I'll do my very best to release weekly content. If you are new guys, please make sure to subscribe to my channel for more Digimon academic research. You know, too bad there isn't a Digimon course I could follow, or even better, teach. I would so go for the PhD on this domain. Finger crossed it's going to come out someday. Oh, for the newcomers, all my videos are in specific playlists, make sure to check them out. They are always updated, that way it's easier for you guys to catch up on the newer and the older videos, and there are many playlists, so please give them a try.